How you doing? Once again, it's the Chef Woodini with his finger on the pulse of the world, which is probably better than the finger up your nose or something, but well, we don't need to talk about that. Whew. Anyway, I was sitting around thinking about this, and I got to tell you, if I'm thinking about it, I consider myself fairly average. Fairly. Anyway, so if I'm thinking about it, y'all thinking about it too. So here's what I was thinking about. And it seems like, in this day and age, everything's got to be politically correct, and God forbid, I'll use God forbid, but I'm an atheist, but I'm allowed to use it, I think. They haven't made that illegal yet, have they? Ooh! I hope not, because I use that phrase. Anyway, they're making stuff, everybody's got to do this. Nobody can do that no more. Smoking's going to be banned everywhere, but you can now buy marijuana. I'm sure there's some sense there somewhere, Anyway, but here's what I want to talk about. Everybody is supposed to be very sympathetic about everybody's situations and their problems. Everybody. Well, let's look around here. Apparently, everybody, from what I can see in the news and everywhere and talk, everybody except there's one little part of everybody that has problems, and we all need to be very sympathetic with them and, give them stuff and whatnot, Now, just to give you a sort of an idea, like you may have like your local serial killer down the block, that just got caught or something, the one where everybody says, oh, seemed like a nice guy to me, he always waved at me, and, I don't know what was in that bag he carried with him all the time, but I'm sure it was something, nice and okay. Anyway, so they grabbed this bugger, and they're like, oh, he killed like 17 people that we know of. And, we found most of the parts, and we added them up, so it may be 17. We're not quite sure yet. But we all need to be very understanding, because apparently when this poor schnook was like 12 years old, and all his friends got to go to, like Disney World, and he wasn't allowed. So, of course, when he grows up, he's going to be, killing people and doing terrible stuff to little animals and who knows what. Oh, in this day and age, we ought to be like, oh, well, don't be too harsh on him. After all, his friends got to go there and he didn't. So what else could he do? See, this is what I'm talking about. We all need to be very understanding. Well, I'm sorry. Some things I can be very understanding about and some things I can't. I get everything, about nobody can bully anybody else. Well, there ain't nothing you can really do about it except, shame on you. And, that's not a good thing anyway. We know that, but it happens. And, you need to be understanding about this. And you can't call these people by this name. You can't call those people by that name. They all get very upset about it. And, and everybody else is like, oh, man, I got to be real careful every time I do something or say something, because somebody's going to be offended. Ooh, somebody may be offended. Am I allowed to say somebody might be offended? Because somebody might be offended by that. You may be offended by what I'm doing right now. That's too bad. I'm doing it anyway. All right, there's a lot of other things I want to talk about. It has the same sort of subject, But I want to keep this short. And I can always do that. This could be like part one. That'd be like part two, where I get some serious offending shit.